Hey there, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you've been here with us before. Today we're going to be cooking another Southern classic. Now, this is coming out of this old cookbook. Now, this was a book that was my granny's originally, and it was published by Claiborne Baptist Church, that old spot right there, which was, well, the church that my granny and granddad were in for most of my childhood. I spent a lot of my childhood there as well. Today we're going to be making some camp corn, but I've got to show you a different recipe before I can show you that recipe. Stick around a minute and I'll show you why. Alright, we are back. Thank you very much. So like I said, we're going to make some camp corn today, but camp corn, one of the main ingredients of it is creamed corn. And I know that in the UK, a lot of you might not know what creamed corn is. In the States, we just buy a can of creamed corn and it's already done, so that's where the recipe starts there. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make it today, and we'll just hop over to the stove now and get started. Alright, so starting out for creamed corn, you may or may not be surprised to know that we're going to start with corn. Funny that, you know. I'm going to go ahead and throw this into a dry pan to start with, which I've already started heating up. The reason for this is I want to get a little bit of, I don't know if char is the right word. Probably is. I want to basically let this corn get a little bit of toasting, a little bit of charring on it before I start adding our other stuff to it. So, I'm going to go ahead and let that go for a minute. Next thing I'm going to be adding, I'm just going to go ahead and get ready here off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in a nice bit of butter. I mean, butter always works well with corn. It's just how it is. It's just lovely. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab not a whole lot, but just a little bit of sugar. Again, sugar helps to bring out that natural sweetness that the corn has, and just makes it even more lovely. I'm going to stir this up a bit, and I'm just going to cut ahead a minute because it's going to take me probably 2 or 3 minutes for this to get ready. I'll bring you back as soon as it is. Alright, I've let that butter melt off completely and let that corn continue cooking just a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat down some. I'm going to add not a whole lot, but a little bit of double cream. That's where the creamed corn starts to come in, if you haven't guessed. And apologies if you hear a bunch of background noise. That's the rain coming down outside. We've got the back door open for the dogs, and they're both sat at the door staring out longingly at the yard as it rains. Alright, so we've got our cream in there now. I'm going to go ahead and add some salt. I'm going to add some pepper, and in this case I'm using white pepper. You could use black pepper just as easily. And I'm going to let that cook off for about 5 minutes before we continue. Hey y'all, just a quick pop in while I'm doing some editing on some videos here to remind you that if you are interested in the recipes that I am posting on the channel, I am now posting those to a Patreon. The link is below in the description. So for $1 a month, you can go on there, you can get all the recipes, you can chat with other people on there. I'll make sure that I do respond on there. Also, if you're interested in the tools that I'm using on the channel, Those are also all down below. You can get those on Amazon, no extra cost to you, but it does mean that you are supporting the channel. And by all means, I do say often, barbecue's expensive, guys, so I do appreciate any and all support you guys can give. Thank you again, and I'll let you get back to the video now. Alright, so I've given that about 5 minutes to cook off now. And now what we want to do is we want to get the texture where we want it. So it's a little thin right now for what we want. We want it to be nice and thick and creamy. So I'm going to start out by adding not too much, but just a bit of plain flour. There we go. And then if you overdo it, if you add too much flour, you can go back and add a bit of milk to thin it back down, to get it just where you want it to be. So as you can see, we've got a nice, fairly thick, creamy texture there. And that flour is not going to take long to cook off. Flavor, just give it a good toss around here. And I might even want to add just a little bit of milk to that. I might have gone just over where I want it to be. Let's go ahead and get that tossed in now. And there we go. Alright, that's creamed corn for you. So, now that we've got that, we can actually start making camp corn. I'll just put this off to the side. And for that, we're going to need to swap over to a cast iron skillet. And apologies, you can't really see. I haven't worked out a good camera setup where you can see everything that's going on yet. Whenever I'm cooking, I'll figure it out one of these days. But I am going to chop up some nice American style streaky bacon. And that's going in the pan. I mean, everything's better with bacon, right? Yeah, of course it is. Let me grab me something else to stir with. Of course. I know that those of you who also watch my wife's channel will be rushing over there to tell her I'm using her spatula again, but oh well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and, before I go any further, cook this bacon off nicely. So obviously that's going to take a couple minutes. I'll see you guys then. Alright, so we've got that bacon going nicely now. I'm now going to add to that some chopped white onion. You could use the red here as well, but for this I've always used and always seen white used. And we're going to let that bacon keep on cooking while those onions sweat off a bit and go a bit translucent. You will need to keep it moving around just to make sure that that bacon doesn't burn to the bottom of the cast iron. And you could do this in a regular pan, but I would always recommend having some cast iron in the house. It just gives a very different flavor and a very different result. I would personally say a much better result. I'm a big fan of cast iron. It also lasts forever, unlike a lot of other stuff. Alright, now while those onions are starting to cook off, we're going to go ahead and add some more corn. And some of you may be asking why we're adding more corn when we've already got creamed corn that we're going to be putting into this. And what you actually find, if you do this, is that the corn that you cook in here with the bacon is going to have a different texture and a different flavor to the creamed corn. And it will feel like it's missing something if you don't put it in there. I mean, it would still work if you didn't put it in there, but it'd be missing something that if you've had it before, you would notice the difference. Alright, we're going to give this about 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I'll be back, and we'll put them together. Alright, so we've got this cooked now. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat down some, and then to that we're going to go ahead and add in the creamed corn from earlier. And there you go. Bacon, corn, goodness, Camp Corn. Now, for those of you who follow my wife's channel as well, I know you're always asking about her, and she is having a bit of a rest day today in bed. So I'm going to take her a nice bowl of this for lunch and see what she thinks of it. I'll also just say, if you follow both channels and you notice some discrepancies sometimes, Joanne normally tries to post same day, or if she's not well, she'll sometimes follow it up the next day. I'm usually recording 1 or 2 days ahead, just so that if something goes wrong, I've got a little bit more time to fix it. So if you notice that she talks about something that you haven't seen on the channel yet, or vice versa, that's usually why. Just a little bit of a peek behind the screen, I guess. Alright, I'm going to get this plated up, and we'll go see what she thinks. Right, and here we are, and here's Joanne. Like I said, having a bit of a rest day, but
not a very good Joanne.
You're always a good Joanne, even if you don't feel well.
This looks lovely. This is my sort of...
Yeah, see, I've done it to you today. You can't try the veg before you get to the meat this time.
I know. What do we have in it? Do we have bacon?
There's some bacon in there.
And what else I need to...
Creamed corn.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
That's the exciting bit.
An onion.
Another exciting bit.
So I've said on the video earlier, but for you to know, basically Camp Corn, which is one of the recipes out of Granny's book, is cream of corn plus bacon and onion,
now,
basically.
I have had cream of corn before. Well, it would be rude not to be married to who I'm married to.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I hope I'm looking at the lens because my eyes are...
You are, mostly. Alright, let's see what you think.
Okay, so just an excitement rank. Can I do it?
Go for it.
Corn, top. Onion, second. Bacon, last. Sorry, Casey. I know, and I've no getting away from it, but...
Bacon is the make better bit.
But I will just say, sorry, out of meats, bacon would be up there for me. So you've done good, my love. That is comfort food.
I thought that would be a good one for you today.
That is like a big hug, Granny. And that's what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Through you. You've had the good sense to make me comfort food. But it's Granny's comfort food.
Exactly. Well, this is actually one of the other church ladies, but Granny made it as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But, so I'm getting a big hug from Granny. And through you.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll leave Joanne to finish her lunch now.
Oh,
And
it's gorgeous kiss.
we'll go wrap up.
It's the best one yet.
There we go. Best one yet. I guess
Try
you guys got to
it.
try it now, right?
Make it, try it, eat it, love it.
All right. So there we have it. We have a happy Joanne. Now, for mine, just to give you a final tip before we go, for my lunch, I'm going to go ahead and fry off some more of that crispy, streaky bacon. Throw that on top with a little bit of Cajun seasoning, just to give it that extra punch. Try it that way. It's gorgeous. Joanne's also just been raving about trying it as fritters. I was telling her about creamed cornbread that I've done before, which I might have to do on the channel sometime in the near future. But for the moment, yeah, there we go. We're done for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you do try this one. Obviously, it's been a big hit with Joanne. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.